Welcome back, Cloud Cadet. So in this video, we're going to change from using SQLite to SQL Server. And some of you, we're going to use Docker for SQL Server because not everyone is using Visual Studio or is on Windows. And also some people might not like to install the bloatware that is known as SQL Server Express, or they might have issues installing it. IA1, for example, it's not possible to install on my computer for some reason. So I'm going to show you the universal way, and then you're pretty much free to do it in anyways. So let's open a browser. We can size this up. You can just search Docker Hub SQL Server. And I'm assuming you have Docker installed. If you don't, you should install it. Just go search Docker desktop, come here, and then it says download Docker desktop, and then you choose the one for your operating system. Apple Silicon if you're using those M series chips, the new ones, or if you're older, Intel. And if you were at the original, I think, yeah, you see it automatically Docker desktop there. If you're at the base address. Instructions to install is pretty straightforward. Once installed, this kind of it looks, but you might not have this like me here, so just ignore that for now. So we search Docker Hub SQL Server. We want the official one for Microsoft. I think this is what we can use. And then we see we want the 2022 latest. So I can just copy this. And inside Docker Desktop, I can click the terminal here. And I can paste this in. And it will download this image for me. It will be found. It will be located here once downloaded. Meanwhile, we can scroll down and see how we can use this. And we can take a look how to use this image to create an instance. We can run this command. We can copy that for now. Let's see, we're soon done. I guess in the meantime, we can actually put it to our commands file. And this file is too much there, so maybe I'll just break it out a bit. Different ones. This one could be Docker, or we could say Docker SQL Server. Whatever, doesn't matter. Let's paste in that command. And similar to before, we can break this up so we can just get it more readable. Some terminals will have that working, others will not. What I'm gonna do is docker run. I'll put this slash here, put 2 spaces there. And I'll do it like that, and then here we'll slash. So this command is pretty much done for us. These are the requirements. Let's see. Port there. We'll be using the log one, of course. But there's one thing, when you don't specify a name, you will get an auto-generated one. And I don't like that, so I'm going to give it a name. So I put --name, and I'll call it excuses SQL Server. And then we could copy that, just put it here, with the log one. So here we can specify the password we use. I'm just going to use this default from the template. Uses these ports as default, accept ULA, yes, and this is the image. And we're running it detached so that the terminal doesn't get stuck like it's running a program, which would be running something here. Instead, it will run in the background, and that is how we want it. So let's go back here. Let's see, there's our image. Great. We can clear this. Let's go back. Let's say we have the name, all of this, perfect. Let's run that, paste it in here. And yes, we got one. So if I go to containers here, you see it is running. Great. Now we're going to need to do a few things, as I mentioned in previous videos. That let's put it like that. First, we need to replace this with use SQL Server. We need to delete our migrations because this was done for SQLite. So I'm gonna delete that. Also, we need to uninstall the SQLite package and install the SQL Server package. So we'll go here. We can start with installed first. We want to remove SQLite, so I click that, and we had it in EF Core, we see it's installed here. So I'll remove, click there, and then click uninstalled, apply. Yeah, I guess that was done. Okay. Then we go to browse. When we type Microsoft, we see our old one here. We see SQL Server there, and then it's already set for that. And then we just, for EF Core class library, we click install. And then we apply and we accept. Great. Now there are a few changes we'll need to make. So that's saved. So we'll come in here. We'll say use SQL Server. So it's already there. We have to remove that. Now, as we're going to be using this for Azure later and to promote good practices, we're not going to hard code our connection string here. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this app settings.json file here. You can put a comma here and go to next. There's a section called connection strings. If I do this, you see it automatically shows some built-in ones because this is commonly used. And it also specified we can get it by using get connection string. So I can press enter there, and it already creates as a object, a curly braces. In here, default standard generally just called default connection. You might want another name. If you were only working ever with Azure, maybe you call it Azure connection. I'll say default connection because then we'd only have to change the string in here, and we don't have to change name to Azure connection later because we'll first be using with Docker and then later with Azure. So let's write the connection string. So the connection string for Docker SQL Server is very similar to the one for Azure, but small differences. So first we write server, and we're specifying it's a local host. It's on my computer because that image is running here locally. We also need to specify the port, which we saw was 1433. We'll put a semicolon here. Then we say database, we can give it a name. I'll call it excuses DB. And then another semicolon, we say user ID. And since we didn't specify one, it by default is just SA. Password, it was that terrible one. We got by default, it was strong. No one's ever gonna guess this one. No, it's exclamation mark, password, semicolon. And then the last thing, trust server certificate true. And I think that's it. With that in place, now in program.cs, we need to get that connection string. So I'm going to make this a bit more readable. I'm going to do it like that. Come back here. Then I'm going to say build configuration get connection string. And here we called it default connection. Now this could be null because if it's not there, then I want to quickly know about it. So we use the null coalesced operator. And we call it a throw new invalid operation exception. And you can throw any exception you want. I'll just use this one. And then close that. And I'll say connection string default connection. No. You can immediately see to tap there, but then I'll enter like that. A lot more readable. We'll quickly know about if we're missing this connection string. So it doesn't have to keep going, running the entire program. We'll know very early on. and then exit. We'll see it on the error. Then we come back, do that, fixed it. And let's see. So, right. We had the SQLite removed, and now we have this. Now what's left? We need to add new migrations. We can come back to our commands. We can save some time. Here we had our add. And maybe while we're doing this, we could also sort. Say rules. New shell. I can move this up so we can read a bit. And then we can have migrations. Actually, what we can do is update this and remove this. We don't need this comment anymore. Easier, a lot less to handle. We do this, and we don't need this comment. Now we know immediately we just did this command. We can open a command line in the root folder. Let's paste in that command. While that is running, I'm going to should remove that one as well. That got confusing. And then update database command here. And let's go back to the terminal. Build succeeded. We see the migrations. Perfect. If you remember, you can now see some small differences. If you remember, SQL Server. So this is important. Otherwise, it would not have worked. Control S. Let's go back here. Now this is going to update the database in our Docker. Run. Great, and we'll see nice, and insert it a few of those samples. Great. We have everything, I think. Let's put it here. Program. That's all really the change we needed to change from SQLite to SQL Server. Right, and let's open up our requests file. And let's run. We'll see this will take a little longer. Nice, turn OK. Let's create one. Great. Now 4. Now let's close this program, rerun it. Just make sure that we're not doing any magic. Let's get that one. Nice, it's there. So update, delete, all of it works automatically. And that's it. And by the way, we can even remove this. We don't need those anymore for the local database. All right, we'll need to close the program for allow to delete it. Delete. There we go. And maybe we want to keep a version of the SQLite just for document purposes. So we could say and then here SQL Server. Should just save some time. Let's use data source. I think it was 2, yeah. And then we'll just comment this out, just so we have a quick reference. Yeah. That's it for this video. The next one, we will move to Azure.